It is all in the context, that elusive word. Imagine this. I'm asking you to rate a person whom you've never met on a scale of 1 to 10. He is Jim Smith. You know nothing about him, so you have no reason to give him a 10 or a 1. Most people would give him 5. That's natural. Then Jim Smith's next-door neighbor, Bob Jones, claims Jim Smith is a real crook. He invaded my land and won't give it back. He is violent, aggressive, and hostile. Where would you rate Jim Smith now? Most people, despite they heard only one side of the story, will take him down a notch. Then we ask Jim Smith to defend himself. Bob Jones is lying. The land belongs to me. It's been in my family for thousands of years, and I have the proper documentation to prove it. Where would you rate Jim Smith now? The natural tendency for most would be to correct back to 5. And so, imagine this. For the next 40 years, that's the way it's going to be. For the next 40 years, these two gentlemen will appear in front of you and will each make his case. On your scale, as the spectator, they will constantly fluctuate. What will happen to you after 40 years? For one, you'll get tired. You'll lose interest in both. Experts call it media fatigue. You'll become saturated to the point you will no longer be able to distinguish the victim from the perpetrator. Vicious cycle of violence is the ultimate expression of fatigue. It implies that both sides are equally responsible for the creation of the problem, and therefore, they share equal responsibility to come up with a resolution. The real problem, after 40 years of public disagreements, the spectator will lose the ability to know who they truly are. I know Jim Smith. He deserves a 10. He is attractive, fun, talented, creative, forthcoming, inclusive. You will never know that. Why? Because Jim Smith chose, whenever he is given a chance to communicate himself to the world, to talk only about his dispute with Bob Jones. By doing so, Jim Smith actually reinforced the association that exists in your minds between him and conflict. As a result, when you think of Jim Smith, you will immediately think of conflict, regardless of whether you support him or his rival. The very context of dispute is not attractive to most people. Most people don't care about the details of the dispute. Both Jim Smith and Bob Jones have succeeded in one thing. They managed to fully exhaust their audiences. Experts call it media fatigue. Gestalt, essence or shape of an entity's complete form.